It's interesting when you mentioned the term gnarly to describe Oakland. Why do you call it that, and why do drivers, racers, love gnarly tracks? I'm curious about this.
So each week we get a completely different track.
Mm,
Dirtworks, the company that comes in builds our tracks each weekend. They do a fresh design each weekend and even every year as we go to the stadium.
mm,
So you're never going to see the same thing twice. And when they build that, depending on what the dirt's like, whether it's like a hard clay or like a soft, like loamy mix, uh, yeah, I'm a dirt nerd. But they can do different things with it. But then not just build it, but then as it breaks down and we ride it, every
mm,
lap the track changes. So if the dirt is super soft and they decide to build everything really steep and the track just deteriorates, and as it deteriorates it gets more dangerous. Ruts can get formed, and then anything goes from there. You may be jumping from one side of a lane to the other just by complete accident, just kind of trying to survive. But we try to just not let it phase us and keep charging forward. But when the tracks are built so big, right, they have plenty of dirt that they can build jumps nice and fat, and then is also steep. It just creates this different atmosphere. If they change the angle of a jump by just a little bit,
mm.
it determines whether we can only go like say 2-2 or 3-1 or jump all four of them at one time. How they build them determines basically what kind of combinations we can do in rhythm sections and things like that.
Have you always been a dirt nerd? Was that something when you first got into racing? You were like, all right, if I'm going to do this professionally, I need to know the ins and outs of everything, and that includes the dirt.
Maybe a little bit as I was a
Mm,
kid. When I was like an amateur racer, it was like whatever. I'll just show up and ride whatever they had. But now that I've turned pro, like I know what cities have good dirt, where I'm excited to go ride. Like this weekend in Dallas is some of the
mm,
things we have all year.
mm.
So
Why is that?
it's just like a good clay. So
Mm,
now the motorcycles are so powerful, right? That if the dirt's too soft, kind of like Oakland,
mm,
um, deteriorates and breaks down a lot, and then it kind of makes so many changes that like we almost can't do some of the jumps towards the end of the night.
mm.
Um, Dirt in Dallas is just phenomenal. It packs well, but it also has a lot of traction, so they can build really big jumps. They can build big obstacles that are challenging for the riders, and they'll withstand all of the racing that they're going to see.